What up, what up, what up? Welcome back to Lockdown Universe, home of the bizarre, peculiar, and unheard of stories of UFO legend and lore. Welcome back, welcome back. Happy to be back. Hopefully, you guys are doing excellent, taking care of yourselves, staying healthy, staying positive, staying, just being a good person. So, man, what are we talking about today? We're talking about fake food. We're talking about the potential for all these big businesses to be selling us fake food. And at first I thought, this is ridiculous. People are just getting weird textured food. People are getting, bizarre tastes in their food. Maybe the farmers are using different technologies in order to create the food, different pesticides, different methodologies, maybe they're picking it early. But I gotta tell you, I got some Walmart food the other day, and that's just because it's where I got it. I'm not saying Walmart's the one doing it totally and that nobody else is doing it. I'm just saying that's where I got some bananas the other day. And I got some avocados too the other day. And bananas are my staple. I eat bananas every day. Well, almost every day. And it's my go-to when I wake up. You'd think I'd be in better shape, but hey, whatever. So I'm eating the banana, and like this is like a week ago, and I'm eating the banana. I'm like, what the hell is this? And there was something in the center of the banana that I've never encountered before. It was like this really kind of thick piece that went through almost the entire banana, basically 75% of it. The top part didn't have it, to my knowledge, but as soon as you got into the middle and the bottom, it was all the way through, and I'm like, what the hell is this? And it was part of the banana, but it almost didn't even taste like a banana. It's like how you have like those thick pieces in oranges in the middle, like the really fibrous type stuff. It was kind of like that. And I say, okay, well, maybe this is just a one and done thing, and it was just a, weird natural occurrence. But the banana itself seemed almost fake. And I said, okay, well, I'll get a new batch of bananas in like a week. Let's see what happens. Because bananas sell out fast. Almost every day they sell out. So go back a week later, and the same thing is going on now. And this has been going on the internet for quite some time. It's been going on. There's an article right here from thedailydot.com that's from June 23, 2024. So from June this year. And they're talking about it. I'm like, what the hell? They're talking about fake watermelon. They're talking about fake bananas. They're talking about fake blueberries mixed in with real blueberries to try to hide it. I mean, all kinds of weird crap. And I'm like, okay, well, this is a conspiracy I didn't believe in until I experienced it. So I said, okay, let me go do some research. So apparently this was new in June, but I think it might go back a little bit earlier than this. But the article states there's a new conspiracy theory that's going around TikTok. In short, the conspiracy theory posits that food one buys at the grocery store is slowly being replaced by fake clones of the original, which is kind of what I'm thinking might be going on. So some of the examples we'll talk about and see if it even makes sense. So, for example, and we'll talk about, why it might make sense to actually make clones of the food instead of creating new food. So let's keep our minds open here just for a moment. For example, several TikTokers have claimed that they purchased either lab-grown or 3D printed chicken in popular grocery chains, not just Walmart, but other ones too. They stated that the chicken breast is affected by a phenomenon known as spaghetti meat, a likely consequence of the poultry industry's attempt to make the birds grow more quickly. So exactly what we're talking about, right? Some sort of farming technique might have changed the texture of the food. While some other people allege that they have found fake blueberries mixed in with real ones, and the main food is the subject is the watermelon. The watermelon, people are getting, when you cut a watermelon, it's crispy. You got a nice crunch to it when you bite into it, and it's just great. Unless it's rotten, which most people don't ever encounter, right? You just don't eat that. But these people that are getting getting the watermelons that are fake, it's like meat. It's like uncooked steak, and you just shake it, and they're shaking it in front of the camera, and it looks like it's just wobbling there, and you're like, "What the fuck is that?" So earlier this year, one individual claimed that the watermelon appeared rubbery and it had poor texture. Another said that she had newly purchased a watermelon and left it out in the sun for a week, and it ended up looking like meat. It did not compose in the way she expected. Decompose, I'm sorry. It did not decompose in the way the TikToker expected. Another TikToker claims that her watermelon skin began peeling off after she rinsed it. So this is what's so interesting, is that now that we have the internet, we can all talk to each other in real time or close to real time, post videos and things like that. We didn't have this stuff before, so if this stuff ever happened, it was a one-off, and people just didn't think about it, didn't have a wide network of people to talk to. Now we have that. We have these podcasts. We have TikTok. We have Facebook. We have Instagram. We have all these different venues where we can talk together. They also, from there, another TikToker also showed that. It showed a watermelon that appears green, but that had collapsed completely inwards. The green exterior, she stated, was a sign that the watermelon was not rotten, and as a result, the fruit's ability to collapse while still appearing fresh is a sign that the fruit had been modified. So that's what we're talking about. And, I got to tell you, I actually lived in an area that had Monsanto very close to us. And Monsanto is one of those GMO factories that change everything. They change the corn in the Midwest. They change everything to try to make it better, to try to make hybrids, to try to do whatever. But humans don't know what the fuck we're doing a lot of times, and we screw shit up. So, you might think, oh, hey, I made this hybrid. Look at how cool it is. Look at how good it is. But guess what? You didn't use the right process in order to get there, or you didn't use a natural process in order to get there. Nature has a way of making things edible or not edible. And if you go messing around with it, you're going to get these flat, floppy freaking watermelons, or you're going to get sticks coming out of your freaking bananas, or you're going to get crazy ass blueberries mixed in with real ones. I did want to look at that because it's just so bizarre. Why the hell would they be mixing in fake ones with real ones? So this happened at a Whole Foods, and this article is on the Daily Dot as well. And this it's a mom who stated that she calls out Whole Foods after discovering something about her daughter's blueberries. She stated that Whole Foods sold her a package of organic blueberries that contained at least one silicone piece of fruit that was fashioned to look like the real thing. What? What is happening? So hold up, let's check this out. So, Ari Osborne posted a viral TikTok that accrued over 1.1 million views where she shows off a rubbery-looking faux berry. She says after finding it, she ended up going down a rabbit hole of conspiracy theories after seeing others have also spotted mock food items being distributed with genuine sustenance. I don't really ever post any TikToks, she said, but I felt this deserved a post. I gave my daughter a bowl of blueberries the other day, and I take what's left in her little bowl and I put it down the drain for the garbage disposal. She says when she pushed the button, she heard clanking like something was stuck. She turned off the disposal and retrieved the blueberry from the inside. And she holds it up, and it appears to be a fake blueberry to the camera. The mother was shocked that she would find an artificial piece mixed in with real food. She said, "Why is there a rubber blueberry stuck in my toddler's snack?" It went from carton. I washed it from the carton. I put it in the bowl and to give her a snack. She said her husband cut it in half, and she says she doesn't know what it is. She said it looks like it's glistening silicone. I mean, it glistens when you open it, a regular blueberry, but apparently, this was like a legit thing. She said it was like a solid rubber blueberry. Has anyone else had this happen? And apparently there was other people that had stuff going on. She said there were folks that shared in Osborne's concern for the strange food situation. Another person stated, I noticed while cutting an onion that the onion doesn't burn my eyes like they used to. Interesting. That could be a cause of a GMO thing, right? They figured out a way for it to not burn your eyes anymore. But another person wrote in a worst case scenario, like, what would happen if she swallowed one? And she said, another person stated, TMI, my child has been pooping out whole blueberries since last week. She doesn't have digestive problems at all. Well, I'll tell you what, you can poop out whole blueberries if you don't chew it. I mean, even if you chew it, you can basically poop out the shell, the husk of the blueberry. So that's not that weird. But if they didn't eat them, if they didn't chew them, then yeah, that'd be kind of standard. But the banana thing, and other people have had the same scenario. A rubber banana, they tried to snap in half. Well, normally you can crack a banana in half, no problem. But there's these rubbery ones that people are getting, and they can't even break them in half. And even like trying to cut them in half is hard to do. Now, I wanted to read a little bit about this. I wanted to see if anybody else had anything happen. In 2011, the Los Angeles Times wrote, a range of fake blueberries are in a number of retail food items that contain labels or photos suggesting real blueberries were used in the product, according to an investigation. So, were they even trying to blend these in? Like, let's talk about this. Was a company trying to blend in GMO blueberries or new fake fruits into our system, into our food system? Because these companies, they buy from other companies, right? It's not Walmart producing the banana; they're buying it from another company, and that company is supposed to be managed by, guess what? They're supposed to be managed by the FDA, right? Food and Drug Administration, and they're supposed to get a passing signal, and the USDA, right? So if they're getting passing, they always get passed, but they can always pass on garbage food later on, right? After they're not being watched, they can just pass off garbage food, and then people are just likely going to throw it away. But if they're modifying it and they're starting to get it into our system, well, guess what's going to happen? People eventually are going to say, okay, if they're gradually getting this kind of food into our system, the people that originally had bananas back in the day before all the GMO stuff happened, they're not going to be around anymore. Then we're going to be used to this weird crap. Us older people, that in our 40s and 50s, we're going to get used to this weird stuff that's starting to come out. And then our kids are going to be like, oh, no, this weird crap's just the way bananas are. You know what I'm saying? And unless they're informed about it, why would fake food be a thing? Right? You got to ask, like, the why, when, where, and how. Why? Money? Are they trying to save money on us by giving us 3D printed food or cloned food? Well, guess what? Guess what happens when they clone those sheep, right? Like Dolly the sheep. You can't keep cloning the same sheep and eating the same sheep. You have to have diversity in your food. And if it's 3D printed food, well, guess what? Then it's not natural food. It can be as good as you want it to be, but if it's not coming from nature, I gotta wonder if it's okay. Now let's talk about if it was an alien species that's mastered the technology and the chemistry in order to keep this stuff evolving, right? Keep this food evolving, right? Okay, maybe they can do it. But then, here's the rub. There would be no reason for cattle mutilations and cattle abductions, because they're using the DNA from these cattle to make new cattle so that they can feed their hybrid entities, their hybrid creations, their children, because that's what we eat. And they have to continue to come back, and they have to continue to mutilate and take these pieces of DNA, the lips, the anus, and their eyes, and everything else, and leave the rest. They apparently don't care about having a nice burger meal. They just want the eyes and the lips so they can go make their own. They can feed it to their children. So they've figured it out. I don't think we have, especially not if we're getting some fake food into our system. And so I think if you can create your own food, if you can grow your own food in your backyard, or do it as a co-op or something like that, that'd be your best bet. Do it in your own backyard. You have total control over it. Yes, you could argue, the government's spraying shit in the air and da-da-da-da. But the most control you're ever going to have is when you're doing it yourself. So make your own food. I know it's not going to be enough to get you through the winter. I know that. I know that because I've had family members be farmers. You got to trade. You got to trade with other farmers. You got to can. You got to do all that stuff. You're not going to live on corn the entire winter, right? You're going to have to trade. You're going to have to, you're going to have to butcher. You're going to have to put stuff into the deep freezer, stuff like that. But it seems as though there's some sort of concerted effort to put some random stuff into our food system. And I know you guys feel it too, because there's always something going on, whether it's the water, the local water supplies, or whether it's rubbery bananas or rubbery watermelons or fake blueberries or some other shit like that. You know what's interesting, and I'll try to wrap it up here, is that the Baskin-Robbins founder had a son, and he wanted the son to work with him. He said, "Son, I want you to work with me. I want you to take over Baskin-Robbins when I'm done." The son, and this is a true story, you can look it up, he wrote a whole book. He left his family, he left his father, and went to go live on his own. He didn't talk to his father for a long time. He wrote a whole book about diet and the way we need to feed ourselves and the way that food was being produced. Even back then, even in the 60s and 70s, he stated the food was starting to become poorly produced, and that we don't need and we should not be eating this kind of food, and that the only way to get good food is to make it yourself and to change the way that we're producing it. The son of the man who made Baskin-Robbins. The man's taking dairy products, taking fruit products, creating them together, putting them together for a dessert. This guy clearly knew about the food industry, clearly knew about how things are produced, and clearly knew that they were making things that we weren't supposed to eat in the first place. So he wrote an entire book about it and sent it to his father and said, "Hey, I want you to read this. I want you to tell me what you think. I'd like you to, maybe even do like a foreword or a passage in it." His father wouldn't read it. His father put it away. And father didn't even talk to him about it at all. So the son is out here still today, pushing it. He's like in his 60s, 70s. He's still pushing healthy eating and it changing the way that we do things. If you look at pictures of the beach in the 1970s, the 60s, 50s, you can see people are all in shape. There's not a single person that's overweight in those pictures. You take a picture of people at the beach today, and we're all out of shape. Why is that? Is it because we have an overabundance of food? Or is it because the food has been so modified that our body can't process it correctly anymore, and we can't stay skinny anymore? It's a good question. It's a really good question. So, anyway, are you getting fake food? Have you gotten fake food from the stores? Have you got something that you felt wasn't right? And I'm being dead serious. Have you got something that you felt was absolutely fake? Or maybe even just cloned? Or it just isn't the way it used to be? There's a lot of food out there that isn't the way it used to be because they are not producing it the way they used to. Because those healthy production values cost too much money. So they are trying to save as much money as they can, especially in this time period where we're experiencing a high inflation. They got to make things work for them. And, I'm one of those guys that always ate cereal growing up. And that stuff's garbage. And I still eat it now. And I'm changing my mind on things. I want to have healthy things. I want to have cantaloupe for breakfast. I'll tell you, I did that today. I feel like a new man. Had some cantaloupe. Had my banana. No, it wasn't weird today, luckily. I don't think. I have to go back. Anyway, and eating the fruits, going back to basics, growing our own, trade with your friends, try to encourage some community trading, because we can't rely on these big companies anymore. Their only purpose is to save money at the expense of you. All right, guys, take care of yourselves. I'm going to end it there. Take care of yourselves. I want you to be aware of this stuff so you can stay as healthy as you can, because it is a conspiracy in a way. And there might be a reason that they're doing it that's even more conspiratorial. So take care of yourselves physically, spiritually, emotionally. Follow through on your hobbies and your goals and your dreams. And as always, continue to question the universe around you. Until next time, guys, take care of yourselves. Lockdown Universe out. Peace.